Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I decided, I was born in Lhasa, and I had this real need to give something back to the community, to the Tibetan community. I attended a democracy day that they were holding, and I realized that Tibetans have this ability, they get very emotional, they talk a lot, and it's all on one tone, and it just went on and on and on, and they just didn't know where to stop. And I thought that would be a lovely way of just giving back, and also something that I love to do would be to actually help them to speak and give them the confidence to represent Tibet for themselves as Tibetans in the community, as opposed to having to stand on the street corner waving banners. And what I would like to say is, don't expect your youth leadership program to go the way you think it's going to go. Because believe me, when you hold that expectation, it doesn't. Mine morphed into something quite different. On the sign up, I had two sheets where we had people who wanted to learn, and also I had the youth leadership program, and I thought whichever was the stronger, I would go with that. I had 20 people joined up for the youth leadership, and about 60 grown-ups. On the evening that I said, let's start, and we'll have a discussion and see which we'll take, no grown-ups turned up, it was just the kids. And I found I had 20 Tashis in my class and 15 Tenzings, because the Tibetans always introduce themselves by the surname. So that started off a little bit of a challenge. To bottom line, it was the most interesting program. The kids came, and we started off, when we first started the supposedly youth leadership, they were all really keen. The next meeting, when they came back, I thought, I don't recognize a couple of you. They said, oh, no, my brother couldn't come, so I'm his replacement. Except that the brother, the one that came, was 5 years younger. So I ended up with teaching to members who were aged from 15 to 6. We had a lot of fun. Kids love to be encouraged, and they love to have fun. So my intention was to encourage them as much as I could, to get them to speak confidently, stand up. There was one little girl who used to come, and she probably was about 12, but she looked quite young. She always was very somber. And they said she hadn't spoken for about 10 months. She always showed up, she would hide behind her mother's skirt, etc., and she wouldn't talk. I just want to say that as they started to progress and develop who they were, to have fun, and extract from them what it was. And they loved the fact when we came to the speaking about when you pause, instead of going, keep silent and just stand still, breathe, and just pause, so you think of what you're going to say next. They love that. One minute, this little girl put her hand up, and she wanted to speak. And she stood in front of the class, and she told them about how her family had come out of Tibet, with the most exquisite pearls of wisdom that none of them had ever heard. And she spoke about it in the way, the fact, her story was that she had actually left her best chuba, a chuba is Tibetan dress. She left her best chuba behind. And that was what she'd been so sorry about all these years. And it was the most telling, it was the most heart-wrenching experience, but it actually got us speaking. So the thing about kids is to really meet them where they are and bring from them that which interests them. It could be anything. For one of them it was a Harry Potter book, for somebody else it was her teddy bear, which she spoke about. And so it was inspiring. There was one time when I couldn't go because I had the flu or something, and I got a call saying, would they mind very much? They could all come down to see me, and they'll have the class there. And even if I had to do it from my bed, I just needed to tell them what to do. And it culminated with them all, four of them actually were leading up to building a speech, and 4 of them delivered speeches at the Dalai Lama, the sort of religious figurehead of Tibet. They delivered speeches at his birthday celebrations. And one spoke about the Harry Potter, one spoke about the favorite teddy bear, the Tibetan name and the English name, and one spoke about the Tudors that she'd been learning in school, and somebody else just spoke about the fact that she wanted to be a fashion designer. But the thing that was most telling was that when one of the officials got up on stage and started to speak and was talking down like this, a voice said, "Eye contact!" And he kept going on and on and on, and sometimes was saying, "Pause!" And this is what kids are so spontaneous. You just cannot quench their spirit. And that's what I learned. So for me, it wasn't about my giving back to Tibet. They have given me so much that will always land in my heart. And we have, with great demand, we have a couple more programs starting. And I have 60 kids signed up. Wow. So I guess my club will be doing a lot of work.